What's up, you guys? This is April Walker, owner of Walker Wear. You're watching Fly Talk on thisis50.com. I was in love with hip hop. I grew up in the 80s when it was an interesting time. New York was like an oxymoron. It was just like all these different intersections in one place, and you had Latin Quarters, you had Copacabana, you had Bonds International, Broadway's International, Apollo, Amateur Night at the Theater. And basically what I'm saying is I love to hang out back then. So I would hang out, and I was at New Paltz at the time. New Paltz, I was in college, and I knew I didn't want to work for someone else. I was not sure what I wanted to do. But one day after the Apollo Theater, I walked in a custom 24/7 Willy Wonka for fashion operation called Dapper Dance. And it changed my life. I was like, this is what I want to do. That inspired me. And my original inspiration was my father. My father was in the music industry. He managed a lot of the jazz greats, so McCoy Tyner, Gary Bartz, a lot of people you might or might not know. And then he was working with people like Curtis Blow and Jazz and Jay-Z and D-Train and all these people. So I always watched him dance to his own beat, you know, literally making his own schedule and going after his dreams. I think he was my first inspiration to drive me to know that I could actually do something on my own and I didn't have to work for someone else. And then the fashion part of it just made sense because innately I loved fashion. I just didn't know some of the things that I think some of the things that we do best and that come to us naturally are the things that we run away from the most. You know, I saw the commercialization of hip-hop, the spirit of entrepreneurship kicked in the 80s. And I saw that, you know what, this is about to be big. Hip-hop is not going away. So we had the music scene, but then we didn't have anything. There was no choices for us. We were already cutting up our jeans and bling bling and stuff and airbrushing and this and that. But, you know, outside of Gloria Vanderbilt or Sassoon, we didn't really have choices, you know. I wanted to make stuff that fit our bodies, the way we rocked them, and represented the lifestyle that we were already living without having to manipulate everything. Timberlands were a staple, still are, but 80s they were a staple. And you had no jeans at that time. Everything was very fitted. So I wanted to create a jean where you could fit over the Tim or right inside of it. So that's kind of where the bootleg came in. I also wanted to drop the crotch so you have more crotch room, baggier. Every guy I knew used to complain that you couldn't fit your hands in your pocket, so I made more pocket room, more leg room, just functional things, you know. And then I just was into hardcore durability. I wanted that, like, I wanted to feel rough and rugged. So our suit became the rough and rugged suit. And we did a contrast top stitching, just really made it more conducive to our lifestyle. And what happened from that is that was how Walker Wear kicked in. But it all evolved from a shop that we had. Originally, when I decided this is what I'm going to do, I opened up on a shoestring budget while I was in college, a shop called Fashion in Effect. And Fashion in Effect was this mesh of creativity in the borough of Brooklyn, 212 Green Avenue. You could come there and get a custom velour sweatsuit or a bling bling vest or a sequins tuxedo or a tuxedo suit or a denim suit. And what happened was one day Shaggy came to the store because he was from Brooklyn. And then another day Shinehead came to the store because he was from Brooklyn. And now we have the internet and we have social media and everything goes viral. Well, word of mouth was our viral. So one person to another person, there's this girl, she's making dope stuff, yada, yada, yada. And then one day I saw Biggie and he was still the dude that was on Washington and Fulton that hung out when I came out the train station at that time in my neighborhood. But he stopped in the store and he saw Airbrush Eric B and Rakim shirt, and he said, "How much is that shirt?" And that shirt sparked a conversation that sparked a relationship that became that snowball effect of, you know, reciprocity of one person supporting another. So, you know, it was relationships like that, and those guys wearing walk-aware before it was walk-aware, when it was just this rough and rugged suit, that's made me see the light bulb went up. My customers are coming in and asking me for the same things that I'm making, and then they would see artists wearing it. So I knew there was a demand for it, and that's how walk-aware started. I have to give audio too. Milk D gives a lot of credit, because they were the first people that came in my store at Fashion in Effect and found me, and they said, "We want you to do our album cover. I don't care." And for me, that was the first album cover. They said, "Can you make these outfits?" And I said, "Sure." You know, it's just like, but we made those outfits. We delivered them on time. It became one of the most sampled albums in hip hop history. And as a result of doing it on time and delivering what they wanted, we actually became their stylist and started styling. So for me, that was huge, because I knew nothing about styling, and they gave me a shot. And when they gave me that shot and that door became open, it opened my eyes to massive opportunity. So we started a styling division. So besides our custom business, besides the fact that we were gearing up to the department stores and the independent stores, we were also styling, and we probably styled about 100 videos and album covers people would not know about. But we worked with people like Naughty by Nature, LL Cool J, Run DMC, Method Man, Queen Latifah, Onyx, EPMD. We worked with Aaliyah on the Back Forth video, and that was amazing, because she was so young then, and she was so innocent. She was just a pleasure to work with, just real easy breezy. And the one thing is, she was repping her city. She wanted a license plate on the back of the vest. That's one thing I can remember, because we did not want to do the license plate, and that was that point. As nice as she was, she insisted on that license plate. So we can't take credit for that, but she made it happen. Mike Tyson, I just remember being at a fight and seeing him walk out in a towel that had the big W's on it, and shorts with the WW that I made. And that was the first time in history that any designer had ever graced a heavyweight ring. Before that, it was like Everlast and, you know, fitness brands. But for a designer, a brand, a fashion brand, that was the first time in history. And the MGM was on fire. Mike was home, he was fighting, and that's a kid from Brooklyn that's like a hero for us, you know, Brooklyn's finest. So for me, that was a big moment in my history, just having that, and it's a moment I'll always be proud of, you know. You know, just a lot of different artists over the years that we worked with. Biggie, Tupac. Tupac was a big, we started working with him early on, and just continued that relationship to the end, you know. I remember one time we were in LA, we were doing a styling job for Tupac, and it was myself, my sister, and Tupac, and we were in this convertible, and this is during that whole East Coast, West Coast beef, and we're shopping, and that song Ain't No Nigga came on, right? And it gets kind of tense in the car. So at the moment, Jackie, my sister, breaks the ice by turning it up like full blast, and she just started singing it. She's like, you know that shit is hot, you know? And he just busted out laughing, because, you know, it was just one of those moments that she broke the ice nice with that, you know. I remember Above the Rim. It was interesting how I actually started working with Above the Rim. I got a call from Tupac. I was already working with him on his videos and all his stuff, custom, but he said, I want you to make some clothes for Above the Rim. And now it's like, but I'm not doing the costume wardrobe. He said, don't worry about that. I want you to make my shit, you know. And I'm like, well, where's the money coming from? All of that kind of stuff. So he's like, I got you. So he was so adamant about making sure that black designers were in this movie. He really wanted to pull me in because they wanted him to wear a lot of other stuff, Champion and a lot of other designers, cool, but he wanted his people in it. That was really big for him. So he asked me to come to the set, and I was able to meet Bernie Mac, and he was mad cool. And then after that, I met the wardrobe. I believe her name was Karen. I met her, and he insisted that we really have a lot of real estate in that. So from that, I was like, I have other people if you need them. And he's like, you got some other black designers? And so I turned them on to 5001 Flavors, and they were able to get their stuff in the movie as well. But he was always about his people, and that camouflage suit that people see in Above the Rim, that was Walkerwear. You know, that Above the Rim vest and pants and that famous birdie scene, that was Walkerwear, you know. So he was real big about that snapback Walkerwear. He was always repping, so that was a good look for us, because who knew that Above the Rim would be like that staple movie in history for us. Classic.